In this video tutorial, we're going to talk about how to print from Modelspace. Why would we be printing from Modelspace when most people are printing from layout tabs or paper space in AutoCAD? Well, that's because there are lots of companies who created drawings in AutoCAD long before paper space was ever invented. And so they have all these drawings that are in Modelspace and they're printing from Modelspace. Why don't they switch them over to paper space? Well, because that takes time and money, and that's not always the priority, or as they say, why fix what's not broken? So we're going to talk about how to take a drawing that was created in Modelspace and how to put a title block border around it so we can print it right from Modelspace. So here's what we're going to do. I've opened up the VM-M eScaling exercise drawing to give us a drawing we're working with, and this drawing has a scale factor of 1:192. I'm not going to take the time to explain how I came up with that in this video. That's for another time, but just take at face value that the scale factor for this drawing is 192. So once I have established the drawing I want to work with, which we have on the screen, and what my scale factor is, I'm then going to insert my title block border drawing into it. So I'm going to type insert at the command prompt, and I will get the insert dialog box. Now it's already showing here what I want, but I'm going to show you how I found it. I go to Browse, click on wherever you have your drawing stored, and we have our VM-L TBAL-MS. That stands for Title Block A Size Paper Landscape Model Space. So we'll click on that and go OK. So it shows back up just like it was there before. And we're going to specify insertion point on screen. We're not going to scale it right now. We're not going to rotate it. We could, but we're not going to. So I'm going to click OK. And so right now it's attached to my crosshairs. Look how small it is. So it's asking me, hey, where do you want to insert it? Where's the base point? I'm going to go 0,0 and hit enter. So here it is down here. We can see it. It's very small. And you also have access to this drawing as well in this lesson. So I'm going to zoom back out so I can see my drawing. And then I'm going to go to the scale command. Go to scale. Scale says, hey, select the objects you want to scale. So I'll just put a window around these guys. Right click to say I'm done selecting objects. And then it says, what's the base point? Well, I'm going to put 0,0 in. And then it asks me, hey, what's your scale factor? Well, I'm going to put in 192. And there's my scale factor. I'm going to go Z for zoom, A for all. And so there's my drawing. So what I've done is I've increased the size of the original title block border by the scale factor. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to limits. I'm going to make sure my limits are set to the new drawing size as well. The original limits are 11 by 8.5. So I multiply those by my scale factor of 192, and I get 176 feet, comma, 136 feet. That would say decimal if you didn't have your units set up to feet and inches. Since I'm working with an architectural drawing, I did that. So that is how you get the drawing ready. So then the other thing I'm going to do to get ready to print it is I'm going to go up to my plot, print icon. And it'll come up here in a second. It'll be the plot dialog box. And in that box will be settings that I have to set. So for page setup, we're not going to do anything. This is just the printer that's associated with this computer. We're going to be using a letter size paper. We want to use limits. That means it's going to show the 136 by whatever it was. I want to do 0 on the plot offset and the X and the Y. I want one copy. I do not want to fit to paper because I want it to print out the exact size that it is. And then for my scale, in inches I put 1, in units I put 192. Nothing else is checked. I don't want to center the plot. I don't want to fit to paper because that will change the size of the drawing. Then the only other thing I'm going to change up here is I'm going to change my pen style from none to monochrome because I've got multiple colors on the page there, and my printer is black and white, and if I don't change that to monochrome, they'll print at different shades of gray, so the yellow wouldn't even be seen. So if I say, hey, print it monochrome, it'll print everything the same intensity of black. Everything else is good. I've already applied my layout to this. I'm going to preview it. That's what it will look like. That's perfect. So I'll hit escape. Takes me back, and I would just click OK. I'm not going to print, so I'm not going to click OK. But that is how you set up a drawing in Modelspace to print from Modelspace.